All right, everyone, what's up? Episode 10 is here. I'm so excited. We're all here at Live Podcasting. I'm Chris, as usual. I will always be Chris. I'm here with Freddie, Josh, and AJ.
Hello, Mark.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 10. I'm ready. You guys ready?
Yeah.
We got a fun episode today. We don't have a script. We have
Just questions.
We asked you guys out there in podcast landia and Instagram world to give us some questions that we can answer today, sports related or not sports related, and you guys delivered. We have 25 questions to talk about today.
We'll try to get through them. We'll try and
get through all 25. We'll see how we do. But, let's start off with our highlights of the week. It's a normal episode. Highlights of the week. AJ, why don't you kick us off? Highlights of the week.
Highlights of the week. Yesterday was the start of the Premier League season, so Premier League highlights will probably be coming back in match week reviews. But I will go with, as of this morning, Arsenal getting their first win of the Premier League season, back on track, feeling good about it. Hopefully we only go up from here.
Even though it was a terrible game for Arsenal.
It was awful. We woke up at 6:30 this morning to watch that crap fest. All right, Freddie, what's your highlight of the week? It can be any highlight of the week, any good part of your week.
So the highlight of the week probably the game that we watched last night with I forgot his name, big blonde
Erling Haaland.
Erling Haaland.
We watched Man City burn the yesterday out on the back patio, had some cigars. Freddie was very interested in looking at Erling Haaland. I mean,
He was an interesting man to look at.
Aren't we all interested in looking at that man? All right, Josh, highlight of the week?
My highlight of the week is Caicedo rejecting Liverpool.
Yeah.
That was great, honestly.
Why don't you give the context of where we were when this whole Caicedo saga was going down?
Were we at Disney?
We're at Disney World.
Yeah, so basically, if you guys don't know, this transfer saga with Caicedo has been absolutely atrocious. It's been going on for a long, long time now. Brian kept on rejecting our offers and then basically said whoever gives the highest amount of money will get him. Liverpool bid 110 mil in euros. $145 million. And basically, I don't know where they got the money from, but they bid it, and already everything was good. It was all up to the player, so everyone went to sleep. I went to sleep. I was like, whatever, Caicedo can go there. It's fine. And then in the morning, Chris wakes me up and says, Caicedo basically told Liverpool, nah, I'm going to Chelsea. So that was my highlight.
I love it. My highlight of the week is not sports related. You came in, on Wednesday morning? We're recording this on Saturday at 3 o'clock. We've had 4 days of it's my bachelor trip week, so we just all hung out this week. Went to Disney, we played 3 rounds of golf, watched a lot of soccer. So it's been a blast. That's been the highlight of my week. I'm excited to do this podcast with you guys and go from there.
Yeah.
So
let's jump right into some ZBK questions.
ZBK Q&A.
For the formatting of this, I have questions, and I think you guys put the names of people.
Yeah.
And I'll read them off, and you guys and me, we can talk about them.
I have an idea. Let's start with this question right there.
This one?
Yeah, this one right here. This one.
All right.
I just checked it. You get it at the bottom.
This one is from Carson Capelli. Says, why does AJ have such mid takes?
Well,
AJ, would you like to answer that?
I can't really answer it because it's an opinion and it's somebody else's opinion. And
would you like to say who Carson Capelli is?
Carson would be my brother, but but I don't believe I have mid takes. I might not be knowledgeable on a decent amount of things, as in zero ball knowledge.
You are on the Zero Ball Knowledge podcast.
We are on the Zero Ball Knowledge podcast, but I just give my opinion, and it's not my fault you think they're mid.
Fair enough. All right. I think we've had some rough takes. All of us had some rough takes.
Not me.
I think you especially
or Chris.
had some rough takes.
Yeah,
no.
Freddie has never.
I think AJ likes to be different.
That's true.
He likes to be
the contrarian.
Being different isn't a bad thing, though.
So let's get into our first legit question here. This one is from Dark Bachand.
Oh my goodness, you just butchered his last name. I'm sorry, Dark.
Dark, I love you.
Dark,
AJ, can you pronounce Dark's name, please?
It's Dark Oh, I can't do his last name, but it's Dark. But
All right. Dark B.
He
All right,
knows, he knows us.
And he said, "What if the Super Bowl was a best of 3 series? Most other sports have best of series: hockey, basketball, baseball, etc. Why not NFL too? Question mark.
All right. AJ, you want to start?
Sure, yeah.
What would it be like if the Super Bowl was a best of 3 series?
Best of 3 series. We were talking about this the other day, and we are kind of like, the NFL.
Hey, Dark, thanks for joining the live.
At some point, they'd probably when they're like 80, it's going to happen because the more games the NFL gets, the more
Money.
Yeah, the more money they receive.
Mm-hmm.
So, at best of 3 probably will happen in some lifetime of ours, but I think it's fine. Like it would work, but I don't think anybody would really want to see it. The format has been one game for so long that it was just kind of that's just kind of like the games are tough in general. Like NFL games, there's a reason they only play 1 week.
Yeah.
So I think it would work.
Josh, do you have any thoughts? What would you think? What would you think the NFL had a best of 3
So
series?
out of all the sports we speak about on this podcast, I would say football is my least favorite. But I will say, I think it's a long game. It's a long game. It would be, I don't know, it's tough. It's physically draining on the players after getting there.
Yeah.
And I think injuries will play a big role in that too, because it's going to be, I mean, the farther you get into the series, it's like, how far are you going to push your players, But I mean, AJ's right about the NFL loves money, so it's true.
At some point, we probably will see a best of 3 Super Bowl.
Maybe they'll do a best of 3 series and shorten the games.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it's a good, interesting question.
All right, Freddie, what do you think?
I think everybody's kind of like imbued with tradition. One football game, just having all the Super Bowl commercials with like Coca-Cola, polar bears, and all that good stuff. So I just think it's just better to have one game.
Yeah.
See, I see. This is where I differ. I think it'd be cool. Dark and I've had this conversation. I think earlier this week, actually, we had this conversation, and I think we came to an agreement where it'd be really cool to see this because not every game would be like, what's the word here, like prominent, yeah, but it'd be competitive. But like, not every game is so celebrified and star-studded. Me and Dark talking about was like, if you play a 3-game series and you play it all in one weekend, you could play it all in a weekend, like a Wednesday, a Friday, and a Sunday. Or how I think would be cool would be make an entire Super Bowl month. I'll dive into that in a second. Dark's idea was really cool. Was you play on a Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and you have to actually use all 45 people on your roster. So that third string quarterback actually will have to play at some point. So you're not just sitting there and watching, Tom Brady play every second of every game, but you're also watching. Who's our third string quarterback now? John Wolford. John Wolford plays some snaps.
But then the question is, who wants to see that?
The NFL, because it'll make them a lot of money. Or, as I think would be really cool, you make February Super Bowl month. The first week of February is media week. Then you have the second week, best of 3 series throughout that. And you have an entire month, and you have so many new Super Bowl commercials, so many concerts, so much money to be made. I'm in.
Okay.
All right. Dark, thanks for your question.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
All right. Let's I'm gonna try to bounce around different sports here.
Go ahead.
Let's go. Henry Wilson asked, where does the U.S. women's national team go from here? Earliest knockout in U.S. history, never finished out of the top 3 to this year. What do we do to replace aging stars? And is it time to replace the coach? How do you mesh the new young shining stars into the team?
That's good.
Okay.
That's good. I like that question. All right, before we dive into this question, Instagram Live, you're going to see this before YouTube people see this, but we have to record in 10-minute intervals. The camera we're using to record this podcast can only record in 10-minute intervals. Thanks a lot, Kalen. So Instagram, you will see us take like short little 10-second breaks, 30-second breaks in between 10-minute segments. So I think we have about like 45 seconds left. 20 seconds, so we can just ramble on. Is there anybody that we know on this Instagram Live right now?
Yeah.
We can say hello to.
We got 5 people.
And Dark was on there. That's why I said
Dark.
Josh, your mom was on here saying hi. Because she told us.
Jaden's on here.
Okay.
She commented Stash Gang.
Ah,
Okay.
Stash Gang.
Henry Wilson, Starrick and Reed Wilson.
All right, well, we got some support from our family members at least.
And me.
All right. So, question again is, where does the U.S. women's national team go from here? Earliest knockout in the U.S. history, never finished out of top 3 to this year. What do we do to replace aging stars? And is it time to replace the coach? How do you mesh the new team, young shining stars, into the team? And this is from Henry Wilson, Chris's papa, big papa.
All right, Papa.
I'll talk on this first. I think that the U.S. women's national team has always been better than the men's national team. However, I think that the question of how do we replace aging stars, I would say the U.S. men's team has already started to do that. And I think they're a good example of that as far as every other international team, because you've already got teams like, not speaking on women's, I don't watch too much women's, but I've been paying attention. As far as men's go, England's already been doing that. France has been doing that. You got like those kind of stars like an Mbappe, or you got Saka, AJ's Arsenal player. The U.S. last World Cup was not great, and the one before that wasn't great, and this one we actually made it to a decent spot for us, I would say. And our roster is actually young guys that are exciting. And I think a big part of that is a lot of the young guys are guys that are actually playing in Europe. So like you've got people in the Prem, you've got people in Serie A, Liga E. I think that you do have to replace the coach if the coach isn't willing to use those young people. And it's not going to be a pretty transition, especially with a women's team that is pretty good. But you got to look around and look at everyone else and see they're better because they're using young. I'm going to say Lauren James, Reece James's sister. She's young and she's good. And you just have to
starts every game for
you have to be willing to take a little dip to get better.
Yeah.
So what are your guys' thoughts?
I would like to speak on that. Like, I feel like replacing the stars isn't hard. Like, I feel like we have good enough talent still. Like, soccer is still a building sport in America, and that lots more kids are involved in soccer now. And so I feel like we have young women who are coming up in the ranks already. And I think what the real question is like, how do you phase them out? How do you phase out like Alex Morgan? Or
you don't.
Yeah, I know.
She plays till she dies.
She just plays till she dies. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you get old. You have to admit that you get old, and it's hard for those players to do that. But hopefully that happens soon.
Yeah, I'd agree. I just don't. I like you. You replace the coach. I don't know who you get, because then again, I don't understand any coaches in the women's soccer world. If you could bring back Pia Sundhage, who literally brought us to 2 World Cups, that'd be fantastic. But that's not possible. I think if we're gonna phase out older players, you can't phase them out. You just have to not bring them back ever again. I don't think there's a phasing out period. I think bringing Megan Rapinoe on this World Cup was a big mistake. That's controversial, because if you're against the women's national team, you're misogynistic. If you're for the women's national team, you're woke. You can't win here. But I think it was a big mistake bringing Alex Morgan, or not Alex Morgan. That's never a mistake. Bringing Megan Rapinoe was a mistake. She made 3 cameos and she did not do anything well. And she missed a penalty in the round of 16 against Sweden and turned around and laughed about it. But to be fair to the team, we were missing some really key players. Mallory Swanson tore ACL. Katarina Macario, who actually the Sweden players talked about after the game in the locker room. I don't know what injury she had, but she didn't make the team. But I think there's a lot of brightness in these young stars. And we saw that in Trinity Rodman in this World Cup, and Rose Lavelle's still young and shining and good. I think we just wait 4 years and we go win another one. Any thoughts, Freddie?
No, I appreciate you all covered, bro.
This is a quick question here. Rachel, how do you say your last name?
Hessian.
Hessian? Hessian. She says, will you guys ever get into horse racing? I will say my favorite horse racer is Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
I will say no. because horse racing is probably, congrats on winning the Triple Crown, whoever did it this year. Or, yeah, congrats, but I don't care.
Look, man, all I have to say is I'm a huge Seabiscuit fan.
Okay,
I'm a huge Secretariat fan.
Yeah.
Rachel.
So-
Rachel, we can do a 5-minute segment on our next podcast
Next
on,
week.
on horse racing.
On horse racing.
If you want to be the person to lead
Yeah.
that.
I'm in. I'm not.
Alright.
You personally can
Freddie,
come on and
Freddie,
talk about
how do
it.
you feel about horse racing?
Question is, yeah, it's fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, have you ever been to horse races? Like down to like the track and lose $100?
I haven't personally been on horse racing, no, but I've seen it.
Okay, that's fair.
All right.
That's fair.
All right. How are we
Dumped
doing?
on sunny day.
We have
We're
4
good.
minutes. All right.
Okay, this is my favorite question on here. I think it's a good one.
Okay.
Why are athletes seemingly weaker nowadays?
Thank you.
And I think
Gavin.
you can, yeah, Gavin, we're not allowed to talk about this because you're a psychologist, but whatever. I'm gonna call you out on it. I think he means psychologically and physically. AJ, do you have an answer to this
Do I
question?
have an answer?
Why are athletes seemingly psychologically and physically weaker nowadays?
No, and we talked about this also the other day, and it was with a Steph in his interview, in one of an interview he did recently. He was talking about how basically like team therapists essentially will say like you can't play that many games, and maybe he's making excuses, maybe he's not. 82 game NBA season is pretty long. And I feel like that might be like that question is a little bit more targeted towards NBA players due to load management and things like that.
Mhm.
And
That's a big issue in the NBA.
yeah, and it's like yeah, like those guys like they sit like two games. They play like 3 games a week, and they sit probably like 2, maybe a half.
Yeah.
But would I say they're weaker? No, because talent plays out in any era if you're good enough, But
True.
I would say that I just don't think not even psychologically, but like teams, like you're an investment. You're an investment to the team business wise.
Mm.
You're an asset that they own. I'm sorry, but that's how they view it. And
Yeah, you're not a human being.
yeah,
apparently.
that's how they view it, and they're kind of like, well, if we lose our best player, like that's going to be a huge hit to our sales in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so I feel like it's more of an organizational type deal where they don't really want them to play.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, no, we talked about that interview that Steph did. Steph was actually doing the Hot Ones Challenge. I watched that recently on YouTube. I was really bored one day. And I thought it was really cool that, like, I don't know, AJ, you can be right, making excuses, whatever, but I don't think we've ever seen load management at this high of a level, especially in the NBA. Like, they don't talk about it in the NFL. They don't talk about it. Like, NHL is starting to get into it.
Yeah.
Soccer, the only thing you have to worry about them not playing is that they don't want to play for the club anymore, and they'll just force their way out.
Or they have midweek games.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
Europe.
but especially in the NBA, like 82 games, yes, is a long time. And baseball players don't even take load management. I think it's a privilege. Obviously it's a privilege to be playing professional sports because it's a very low percentage of people that play professional sports. And I feel like if you really enjoy it, you'd want to play every game possible. But then again, we're in a generation of statistics, and numbers is the biggest part of sports. So if they tell you you can only play 62 games at your peak performance, they're only going to let you play 62 games at your peak performance. I think that's a real shame because we miss out on a lot of good athletes that.
I will credit Jason Tatum for coming out and saying that, talking about load management, saying like, yeah, like, that Monday night in Charlotte, it's not a direct quote, but it's pretty close to it. Like, that Monday night game in Charlotte, like, I don't want to, no NBA superstar wants to play that game. But he's like, I know there's a kid out there who that's the only game they could afford, the only game they could come to.
That's a Kobe.
And, like,
That's a Kobe.
Yeah, and they come to see me. You know what I mean? Like,
I love that.
so
I love that. I think and he embodies Kobe and he tries to embody Kobe in a lot of ways. On the court, not every game is as good as Kobe would have done, but Jason Tatum tries to have that Mamba mentality. All right, can you ask that question one more time, please?
Are you going to talk about softball, cricket, polo, or track and field?
Cricket, softball, polo, track and field. Are we ever going to talk about any of those?
If they ever become relevant.
If ZBK played in the softball league, we would recap every week if we played in the softball league.
Yeah, if we
But
played adults men's softball.
Until that moment, we'll never talk about those words. They are way too irrelevant for our lives. Thank you for your question.
All right. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perry Scott said, "Will the U.S. men ever win a World Cup?" No. Next question.
Not in our lifetime. I don't think. Clearly, not in the next couple of World Cups. Like when we in our golden generation, especially if we have Greg. If you watch the pod, we had a whole episode where we just ran that guy through the mud, and
I don't feel bad about it.
We're not the biggest fans of him here, but like he's just not going to win us a World Cup, and I just like the level of Europe to like the Americas, even Mexico has a harder time competing with European teams. Like it's just one of those things where it's like there's a level to it, and
It's true.
I would like to say at some point America will contend for a World Cup, but probably not in our lifetimes.
Look, hear me out.
sadly.
Hypothetical. Greg Berhalter gets fired December 2025. Pep Guardiola manages the U.S. men's national team in the
He doesn't have
2026
the
World Cup.
talent though.
Shut up, AJ. Let me finish my hypothetical. Pep Guardiola manages the 2026 men's national team. We've seen how rigged the MLS can get in this League's Cup. Thank you, Messi. Why don't the 2026 World Cup is in the U.S.? Why can't we rig it to win it?
Well, no.
Why can't we rig it to win it? Minute to win it? Well, this is called rig it to win it. And I think the U.S. men's national team will win the 2026 World Cup.
We're talking about
If we're
mid-takes.
playing on FIFA.
We're talking about mid-takes.
Yeah, we're talking about mid-takes. That's a mid-take.
If you're playing on
All
FIFA,
right,
you will
look,
win the
this
2026
is the reality.
No, Perry, they will never win a World Cup.
This is the reality. In our lifetime, I don't think ever. The thing is, soccer in the U.S. isn't taken as seriously as it is in Europe and all those different countries. So, Messi coming here, that's great for the progression of the sport in the U.S., but Europe has more competitive soccer leagues, football leagues. They have better competitions. Their academies are miles and miles ahead of anything we have in the U.S.
And affordable.
It's
And
affordable here.
that's just where we're at, and I don't think we'll ever be able to get to that progression because the progress we make, they're making like threefold. So
Yeah.
maybe we can make I don't know,
Like a run. That's why I said contend.
a
Like,
semi or
yeah,
I don't
semi.
know.
Quarterfinal.
Rig it to win it. You heard it.
I will say this last World Cup, I had such high hopes, and I was really thinking we could possibly pull an upset against Netherlands, but it is what it is.
There's levels.
There's
like I was
levels.
saying.
Levels.
So yeah, that is that question. I mean, Freddie, I know you don't know too much about soccer, but what are your thoughts on that? Just say no.
Freddie did agree with you earlier. When
Just
you
agree with
you
me.
said no, and Freddie shook his head yes.
Every time that I see the men's soccer team with the U.S., I hope for the best, but they always break my heart.
That's true. That's fair. All right, what's next?
All right, let's do a football question for you and AJ.
All right.
Thoughts on new Washington Commanders ownership? Probably going to change the name again. Back to Redskins, or what do we think? This is from Anthony Dean.
We also talked about this the other day. We talk about a lot of sports, obviously. That's why
95% of our conversations are ZBK sports
related.
video game related.
Yeah.
It's true.
So the new owner, I'm a Sixers fan, so this guy is already Sixers owner.
Who is it?
Josh Harris.
Josh Harris. Okay.
So he's a fairly decent owner. I was saying immediately though that they probably will get a name change. Will it be back to Redskins? No, probably not. But we will definitely see a name change here shortly because it's like one of those things where it's like you get to put the stamp on your team. And also the previous owner didn't even trademark LLC it, so he clearly didn't care, put enough time and effort into rebranding to actually like to think this through. So I think as like a move to
Are we
say
going
like
back to
we're
the
new.
team?
We're not going back to the
The
team.
football team?
I mean, the team was great. I think a lot of people enjoyed that name, but
I thought it was better than the Commanders.
I think we agree it's better than the Commanders, but I think we'll see a new name here. Maybe not, obviously not this season, but maybe in the next couple seasons.
That's fair. I don't know much about Josh Harris, but thank God Dan Snyder's out of the league.
Yeah.
Dan Snyder is the NFL equivalent to the Glazers in soccer. Toxic, terrible, leave, never come back. What I think
under $6 billion.
Yeah, congratulations, $6 billion. I wish I was you, but you really did some terrible things that we can move on from. Redskins. I think it'd be cool to go back to the original name. I'm sure a lot of people have issue with that, but then again, I really don't care because I like the name.
Chris is racist. No, I'm just
No, but hear me out.
Canceled podcast.
For real, you just canceled our podcast right there. All right, the Florida State Seminoles. There's 2 weeks of backlash with them. And
yeah, but that's because they make
let me get there. Why can't you find some tribe like the Seminole tribe and you rename the Washington team after that, and you get money after that? Like, I'm sure there's some tribe that we could attribute to the Washington Redskins and they could end up making money from it. I don't know.
That doesn't matter.
I don't know what other name that they're going to come up with. Like, if we're going to change our name again, let's not do some corny 5-year-old team name. Oh my gosh, mommy, we're the Washington Commanders. No. Might as well just go back to the Washington football team.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
All right.
That's all I have to say.
All right. Guys, we'll take our ad break.
That's all I have to say.
We'll take our ad break. Ready? Would you like to do this ad? Bye. Okay. This one is from Perry Scott also from earlier. Did Jaylen Brown deserve his super max? I know you guys have some deep opinions on this.
No.
Mm-hmm.
He did not deserve.
Jaylen Brown plays for the Celtics.
Yeah, he got a contract worth over $300 million. It's the richest NBA contract of all time. Does he deserve it? Yes or no?
I believe that the best player deserves the biggest contract.
Okay.
Why is this somebody I've never heard of?
That's fair.
That's a fair. No, because if the Celtics want to win anything or get depth pieces or anything like that, they probably shouldn't have locked down a guy who's okay. I'm not going to say he's not bad. He's not bad. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, like, if you ever wanted, I mean, I know all the role players have to perform, but, like, you need different role players in Boston, in my opinion.
I would say on this question, it's probably one of the questions that we all probably agree on.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
He doesn't deserve it. We've talked about Jaylen Brown on podcasts before.
Yeah.
The thing with Boston is right now, Marcus Smart is gone. So that's whatever. That can be a controversial move for him. But the thing is, right now you have Jaylen Brown, you have Tatum, and you had Smart, and the question was who is leading the team. I think that if you're Boston, you should have tried to look for a trade package with him and build around Tatum, because obviously Tatum is going to he needs to be the guy to lead that franchise. And now you have Jaylen Brown making more money than Tatum and
anybody else in the league.
And anybody else. And Tatum is arguably better than Jaylen Brown. But, I'm not saying Jaylen Brown is a bad player at all. Right. I think, though, for him, it's kind of like, it's rough because, like, that's a lot of money, bro. That's a lot of money. So, if you can be viewed as, like, going after the bag. But as far as his game and stuff, I think a lot of people would have liked to see him leave. I'm not a Boston fan. Chris is
more of a Boston fan than anybody.
Is a Boston fan, so I don't know. He can talk about that more.
I think you said it. We all agree that he did not deserve his supermax. Sign and trade would have been great, but nobody's taking on $50-something million a year for 5 years. Nobody's taking that on. Boston should have somehow found a way to get rid of him. For a guy that only truly has one hand that he can use to dribble, $300 million is a lot of money. Defenders in the NBA out there, just make Jaylen Brown go to his left, and he cannot score a bucket.
All right.
Tatum will get paid next offseason, and if his contract is not more than Jaylen Brown, those Celtics fans will burn Boston to the ground. I think you guys covered the
I
rest
think
of it.
it's one of those things where it's like the media talked about it last NBA season, where it's like you got to pick your one.
Yeah.
And
And
who you get to pick.
they're trying to do both, and it's not going to work
It's
out.
not really
Yeah.
working. It might not work out.
That's all right. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll move on from that because it's just we could go on rambling about that.
For hours.
This next question is from JJ, and it says, "Freddie, what is your mustache routine, and do you have any recommendations for growing a stash?"
It's true. This is a real question.
This is a real question.
Yeah. So, what's your stash routine?
My stash routine, I put a little bit of my shampoo and conditioner for my hair, my mustache sometimes. Get it nice and soft, and I take my comb.
But how often do you shave? Like, how many times a week do you have to shave?
I do it once a week.
How did you grow? Did you grow facial hair easily?
I grow my goatee, like the goatee area easily, but then other than that, no.
Okay.
Pretty
Do you
different.
drink like goat milk or something like that to make your mustache grow thicker?
I inject my upper lip with testosterone.
Okay.
There we go.
There you go.
You have it.
You heard it.
You heard it here first. Let's do. All right, from Perry Scott.
Let's finalize Perry's question.
Perry, we love you.
Perry, you're the man.
Yeah.
Who will be the Bucks starting quarterback, Baker or Kyle?
Okay, who do we
Stroud?
think? Who do we think,
Are
or
we
who do we
talking
want?
long time, or are we talking week?
So
Right,
for
this
this
one- week one.
for this question, we won't let AJ answer, and it will only be Chris.
Week one. Who do I think it'll be? I think it'll be Baker Mayfield. Who do I want it to be? None of the above. Let's just forfeit the season and just go draft a quarterback.
I want Jameis Winston.
Tom Brady's gonna kick
That's
down
my
the
week
door.
one.
Yeah, let's
Back.
just bring Tom Brady back, man.
Tom Brady,
Like-
Jameis Winston.
Honestly, you know who I really want?
You really want?
I don't know. I don't have a clue.
You just gave the longest pause ever.
I want Aaron
Oh.
Rodgers.
No,
I don't.
I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, Baker Mayfield's going to be the number one quarterback this year. We're going to win 6 games, but I really wish Kyle Trask would be the starting quarterback.
Yeah, Baker starts in Minneapolis.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Is there any more Perry Scott questions?
No, that's it. Yeah, we're done with
Sure?
Perry's questions.
Are we
yeah,
sure? Okay.
positive. Perry gave us 3 really good questions. Thank you, Perry.
Let's just knock these.
Thank you, Perry.
What's going on with Pac-12? Why is everyone trying to leave?
Josh, could you tell me any team that's in the Pac-12?
Nope.
right
Yeah.
now?
If you can name any team that's in the Pac-12 comments, I'll buy you dinner.
Yeah, you did.
David Beckenmeyer.
Hey,
FB.
if you name anybody in the Pac-12, I'll buy you dinner tonight.
Nope.
Do you know where the Pac-12 is?
Nope.
Okay.
Does Freddie know?
Yeah.
Hey, you're the sports guy.
Do you know the Pac-12, Freddie?
I don't
If you tell me a
Is
team in
it
the Pac-12,
is it college football?
Yeah, it's
College
college
football.
football. Well, it was a conference, so
it
there's
still is a conference.
Yeah, my bad.
Not for much longer.
Yeah, not for-
Is there a Kansas team in Pac-12?
No,
No, that's Big
that's
12.
the Big 12.
Yeah,
You were close.
Yeah.
You were off by 3 letters.
Oklahoma?
That's the Big 12.
Well, it's SEC now, but Big
No, not until
that's
2025.
2025.
Arkansas?
That's the SEC.
Missouri.
Pittsburgh?
SEC.
ACC.
We can sit here for an hour.
Yeah, no. So the Pac, yeah.
Cal, yeah. Cal is a Pac-12 team.
Bruins?
Yeah.
UCLA, yeah, they're a Pac-12 team.
There we go. Buy
There
me
you go.
dinner.
It's too late. You've already got it.
So the Pac-12,
Good one, yes.
the Pac-12 is a conference out west. Had
Okay,
some
literally Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA, all your California teams,
Cal,
bro.
Berkeley,
Yeah.
Arizona,
Arizona
Utah.
State, Utah.
Yeah.
Nevada.
The
So
one I care about is Big Ten.
recently, a lot of teams have been defecting towards bigger conferences like the Big 10, Big 12 as well.
SEC.
Yeah. And SEC, the Big 12 specifically, but
Yeah.
I would say USC and UCLA are going to the Big 10.
So why is everyone
That's
trying to
exactly-
leave? That's the question.
Why is everybody trying to leave? Because they want money, and like that's the thing about college
Because the
football.
Pac-12 is only shown on the Pac-12 network, and
Yeah.
certain games are shown on Big TV. So if you go to a conference like the Big 10, the Big 12, the SEC,
You're national.
you're on
coverage.
national television all the
So
time.
let me ask you a question because I don't know much about this.
Yeah.
Is Pac-12 teams, would you say they are on the same level? Like, would they be able to compete with the other teams?
Yes.
Big Ten schools, yeah, with SEC schools, it'd be tough.
They'd be
here's the
middle of the
thing-
pack in the SEC.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Pac-12 schools is that like they have really decent. They usually have decent offense, but they play no defense in the Pac-12. So
That's fair.
Yeah.
Pac-12 scores are always like in the 50s.
they're like
and
they're like
60s from both
50
teams.
to 56 to like 72 or something. It's ridiculous. So
Yeah, I think.
they want more money. That's the real.
Well,
answer.
yeah. So you're gonna see Oklahoma and Texas lead the Big 12 and come to the SEC in 2025. USC and UCLA are going to the Big 12. Are they going to the Big 12 to replace Oklahoma and Texas?
No, they're going to Big. They're going to the Big 10. Yeah, they're going to the Big 10.
Gosh.
And-
All right. Well, let's just dissolve the whole freaking Pac-12 conference and split them up.
Yeah.
How about? Hear me out. Ready? Hear me out. Let's dissolve all the conferences.
One big.
Split them all into divisions. It's the same freaking thing.
I know. Well, that was a Facebook meme.
I know.
Yeah, it's like
let's just dissolve conferences and make them divisions.
and making divisions.
What's our time at?
Yeah.
All right, quickly.
Okay.
Give me a yes or no. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
give
do
us a
one.
yes
Ready?
or no.
Okay, this is one really quick answers. Who's the next Tampa team to win a championship? Lightning, Rays, Bucks.
Rays.
Who you got?
Rays.
Rays?
Rays.
Wow, I think we're unanimous. The
Are
Tampa
you
Bay Rays will be the
unanimous?
next Tampa team to win a championship.
World
Rays.
Series.
Go Rays!
You're welcome.
Rays
Yeah.
I
us!
serve
Rays,
world
all
peace.
right. Meta world peace.
Saved world peace. This next question is from JJ, and it's to AJ. They said, AJ, do you know
JJ.
do you know what an iron is, and do you know how to use one?
Yeah. No. And I will never use an iron.
Not today, he
They
doesn't.
have,
Not this entire week.
they have government chips installed in them that they can
I
track
can,
my
I can
clothing.
confirm AJ doesn't know how to use an iron or his irons on the greens. All right,
Okay.
let's go. Next question. This is Dane Bean Blossom.
Yeah,
Is that actually his
that's
last
his name? Yeah.
That's his name.
Really?
It's a really cool. It's actually, I'm really jealous of that last name.
All right. Year is 2050. Where
I love this
does
question.
where does Connor Bedard
Josh's favorite player, by the way.
rank on all-time NHL player list?
Okay, Josh, who is Connor Bedard?
Dude, why are you asking me these questions? He
What
said
sport does he play?
he plays hockey.
Okay.
You can read. Well done. All right, Freddie. I don't think me and AJ. I don't know. We don't know Connor. We don't know Connor Bedard very well either.
I think top 22.
Okay, Connor Bedard just got drafted #1 in this year's NHL draft.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where do you think all time? What's this year? 2023.
Yeah, it's
27 years from now, where does he rank in the all-time NHL players list?
I think in 4 years.
Give me a random number, Fred. Just tell the folks out there where you think.
Career-ending injury.
25.
Okay, Freddie thinks he's going to be the 25th all-time NHL player. What you got?
I think he's gonna have a.
Apex Legends.
I think he's gonna have a career-ending injury and never make the list.
That's terrible.
So like 500, 550.
Dane, I love you.
Yeah.
This guy is going to turn out just as well as every other prospect. Nobody's going to know his name in 10 years.
All right.
Top 250 players.
Yeah.
Perfect. Next question.
All right, AJ, this one's for you from Patrick Wheeler. AJ, we would like you to discuss the contract arbitration over rookie contracts in the MLB.
Honestly, I'm just going to give you the simple answer, Patrick, and you probably know it. We're going to talk about it a lot when it comes to GMs and management and organizational. It's money. They don't want to pay rookies money. That's also been an issue in baseball for forever, is that basically like minor leaguers get like no money. Like they room together and like basically work other jobs.
Yeah,
like
they barely have enough
playing-
money to live every week.
playing like the game, like pro baseball, but it's pretty much down to money. Like I appreciate the rookies for wanting more money coming into the league and like pushing for that, but baseball organizational wise is stuck in like the 50s. So I don't think it's ever gonna get to maybe like NBA or NFL levels of like these guys are getting guaranteed money on their contracts.
Man,
and, like,
even
injury.
soccer, dude.
Yeah, even soccer like
Even
that.
soccer
But like,
now.
but like it's just one of those things where it's like baseball's really, really stuck in the past, and they're
It's the
probably
old man
just
sport, bro.
and they're probably just never gonna pay rookies. They just want to hold on to their money, man.
Yeah,
So I'm
it's really
sorry,
unfortunate.
Patrick. I figured that's what you knew and what you know, and like I'm sorry that baseball's still like that. Eventually, these guys hopefully will get paid, and Rob Manfred is probably one of the worst commissioners.
It's true, and he just got renewed for some more years.
Yeah, one of the worst commissioners in sports. So
All right, let's move on.
I'm just gonna knock these questions out that I don't know too much about. If Justin Fields doesn't perform this season, can we all call him a bust? John Ruggles. I like the last name Ruggles.
Do you?
Yeah.
You want to answer this one first?
Freddie, you go ahead. Justin Fields,
I-
Ohio State quarterback.
Ohio
When did
State
he get drafted?
2 years ago, 2
two-
or 3 years
Is it
ago.
a little early to be calling him a bust, or
No,
That's a good point.
Is it early to be?
I think
we talked
he just
about
did
this.
the first 5 years.
I said that yes, because Chicago this past offseason has gotten a lot of pieces for him,
It's true.
and so this is the make or break year.
Like, he's in Chicago.
sure.
Yeah,
Like, he's not in a really good.
he's not in a place where quarterback.
But
I want
a
you to
good
know a
quarterback would
statistic.
make the
A
most of
statistic,
it.
a statistic of the Chicago Bears quarterbacks. I'm pretty sure none of them. There's been none that's been thrown over. I believe 5,000 yards in a season,
I think it's four.
or 4,000.
Because they're saying Justin Fields could be the first ever
Yeah.
throw over 4,000.
So-
So
It's not
you're,
a-
so
it's
you're
not
giving
a-
him one more season.
yes.
Yeah, he gets one more season. He has
From
weapons.
AJ,
He has
yes.
DJ Moore. I won't call him an outright bust probably after this season. I feel like that's a little too harsh. And hopefully he sticks around and is and stays in the league. But I don't think he was worth what they drafted him at, which I believe was
The eighth.
eight or nine. Yeah. So
Okay, so I love Justin Fields. Justin Fields will be my fantasy football quarterback this season. You heard it here on the ZBK podcast first. 26 days away from our fantasy football league draft. Justin Fields will be my fantasy football quarterback unless taken before me. So I really like him. He's got the rushing upside. How many times did you see last season? AJ Ray ran 60, 70 yards, scored a touchdown.
yeah,
Um,
he has ability.
he
I'm not going to
has
say
crazy ability. He probably will go down as the best Ohio State quarterback to ever play in the NFL. So I think from there, if he doesn't do well this season, he'll figure it out eventually. But I think he has the tools to get it done this season.
What happened?
All right, number 1. We're here. Number 1. Michael Jordan is my number 1 player. LeBron James. If I really wanted to be controversial, LeBron James would be number 1. Wouldn't be in my top 5 because I really don't like him. But he's the second greatest player of all time, so he belongs at number 2. Steph Curry number 3. Kareem number 4. Who'd you say? Kobe. Kobe's number 5.
Efren said Kobe not top 3 is disrespectful.
Efren, you're a meat writer.
Efren. Here's
You're
how.
Glazer.
Here's how.
Top tier Glazer. Efren.
Here's how. Kobe Bryant is a top 10, 5, depending on the person, player in the NBA. He was top 3. Sorry, I need to look into the Instagram camera. Top 3. He was top 3 at one point. And I respect you for still having him at 3. But I just don't have him at 3.
Efren loves Kobe.
I respect that.
And Efren gets a lot of stick in the fantasy group chat for Kobe, but it's okay. I can respect your opinion.
I respect your love for Kobe
We
Bryant.
respect
Efren.
your love.
All
My
right,
top
AJ,
5.
top 5. AJ just got like,
Mike-
AJ just got, who's that? Vlade Divac? AJ's
Go
top
ahead.
5 is Vlade
Yeah.
Divac. Go ahead.
Mike, LeBron, Kareem, Magic, Shaq.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Carson, this is why your question of mid takes is what it is.
All right, whatever. We'll move on to the next.
No, I respect it. AJ and I had this conversation in the car.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. All-time top 5 soccer player ranking. We're gonna start again with Fred.
What?
You can give us top 3.
Top 3. Okay. Messi number 1.
Good man.
Ronaldo number 2. And Neymar number 3. I forgot the other guy. Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz is number 3. All right. Bring it up.
Hey, Zach Reid says the guy on the far right is very attractive.
Thank you, Zach.
He is.
He is.
You should have heard the ad break earlier.
Yeah.
All right.
You wouldn't think the same. Who's your top 5?
Let's not get this wrong. Number 1 will always be Messi.
Do we agree on that at this table, AJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 1 is
AJ's
Messi.
finally. It took us
AJ
years.
swapped now.
It took us years to get him to say that.
AJ, yeah. Number 1 is Messi. Ronaldo, CR Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo, number 2.
Okay.
At number 3, this also gets tough at number 3 because it can go a lot of different ways.
There's 3 different players you can put at number 3.
Yeah.
Who you thinking? Who you got in your head?
Pele.
No, I don't even like to involve Pele in my population.
I know you
Really?
hate Pele. Yeah, you
I
hate
really
Pele. Because Pele played when there's no offside.
Pele played at a time where there was no kind of rules that these players are scoring on now. And also, I just don't like Pele's attitude.
Yeah, but every goal that you scored in FIFA, Pele adds to his national tally.
Whatever. We'll put Pele at 3. I'm gonna put
3, yeah.
Over Maradona?
3. Pele over Maradona.
yeah
Okay.
Maradona at 4.
Okay.
And at 5,
Do it.
you know what I'm gonna say?
No. I'm gonna do it.
Mbappe?
No, Mbappe's up there. I think Mbappe can get there.
Yeah.
I think Mbappe, one of your tires will be top 5.
At number 5, just for my favorite, I'm gonna put Ronaldinho.
Okay, I respect that. He didn't win a lot, but that's respectable.
Yeah.
My 1, Messi. My 2, CR7. My 3, Maradona. My 4, Pele. My 5 is Johan Cruyff.
Yeah.
One of the greatest influences of soccer.
Yeah. Messi, Ronaldo, 1, 2. I'm
I'm so
gonna,
excited.
I will put Maradona at 3.
Okay.
I'll put Johan Cruyff at 4. And I'll put Zlatan at 5. Personal preference.
Wow, that you got a gag from our stage
Yeah, I
manager back
know.
there.
Personal
Is
preference.
that controversial? Is Zlatan in top 5? Is that a controversial take?
I mean,
That's
he's
very
good.
controversial.
I can't stand him.
He's good though.
All right,
But if Ted Lasso can make him look,
Okay. Oh, it's Thierry.
if Ted Lasso can turn a Zlatan-esque character into someone I love, then he belongs.
Then Thierry Henry is
I mean,
number 5
whatever. You
to me.
okay? That's
Yeah.
good.
You're allowed to have
Yeah, Thierry.
you're allowed to have your opinions. Don't
Yeah.
let our stage manager.
All right.
Thierry.
Mine was nothing like yours.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's move on to the next question. Alien Death Beam on the Earth game. On the Earth? Oh, on the Earth.
On the Earth.
Alien Death Beam on the Earth. Game winning 3. Who do you take? Only catch is the player you choose cannot have an MVP. I got mine.
I got mine too.
I don't have mine.
Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade? Robert Ory.
Wow.
Who are?
They can, so
Big
you
shot
need someone to
bomb.
make a three-pointer to save the world from alien decimation. But they could not have won a most valuable player award.
Okay, so like Curry won MVP.
Curry won
Correct.
MVP. LeBron's won
Is
MVP.
Clay won MVP?
No.
No.
Clay.
All right.
Thompson.
That was to be fair. That's the first name that popped in my head was Klay Thompson.
I mean, I'm
I can't have the other brother.
going far. I would say Dwayne Wade or maybe like Carmelo Anthony.
So okay, my head went to Carmelo next because my obvious first answer is Curry, and then it goes to like KD and Kobe.
Oh,
But
F dog.
can't have any of those.
Yeah, I like Ray Allen.
Yeah. Ray.
Ray Allen. No, that's a good take. Efren, that's a good take.
Good comms. Good comms.
Good comms, Efren. If the world's on the line, I need a three-pointer. Gosh, I thought Jokic probably him, but he's won the MVP too.
Why are you putting
Joel
Embiid?
Jokic shot 46% from the three-point line as a
Get
senior.
this guy out of here, bro.
He won MVP. I can't even use him.
Jamal Murray.
Gosh, bro. You know what? Hey,
I need you to clown him.
hey, controversial take. Michael Porter Jr.
Ew.
Chalk it.
No, dude.
Chalk it.
No way.
I watched this video the other day, bro.
You just-
That's what I said. Controversial take. I saw this video, and this guy goes, Michael Porter Jr. Oh no, it was the Paul George. I showed Josh it last night. It was Paul George and Klay Thompson drafting their top 5 shooting lineups. Paul George put Michael Porter Jr. in his top 5 shooting lineups.
That guy's a bum. Listen, I like Clay if I can throw it to him.
Is it a catch and shoot three? Then
If I
Klay
can throw it
Thompson.
to him in the corner, yeah.
Okay.
He said Brittany Grimer. I don't think so.
Brittany Griner is too busy.
I feel underappreciated because no one liked my pick.
That's because
That's okay.
Robert Ory played in a time where three-pointers didn't exist yet.
What are you talking about? He played.
All right, hey, let's move on to the next question. It's what athlete do you wish you could have seen have no injuries throughout their career? I've already kind of told you guys. I think I would have liked Neymar a lot more if he wasn't ever injured and if he didn't flop as much as he did because to sell injuries.
Yeah.
But I think he is a really attractive dribbler, similar to like a Ronaldinho. He's just fun to watch. And I think his play style and in the way he fluidly moves throughout the pitch is really entertaining to watch. I just wish he didn't get hurt as much as he did, and we could have seen like what he was able
Like
to
every
do.
year.
Yeah.
In March for his sister's birthday.
And also, I mean, there's some more things with him, like his attitude, and just I don't really like the way he's on the floor a lot. But
Yeah.
that's it for me.
Freddie, who's your one athlete?
I would probably say like Andrew Luck had a bunch of injuries. And
Yeah.
stuff like that too. I would say either him or like Tony Romo, one of those two quarterbacks.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that a lot, actually. That's not something you hear very often.
AJ?
I'll say Derrick Rose. I know that's an easy answer. But I know a lot of people like glaze on his MVP and whatever, but like he's a pretty good player, and I think we probably would have gotten a couple more decent years out of him, or at like a decent, good MVP level, MVP contention level. And I think a lot of people probably would have seen that, and I think Chicago would have been better for a longer time instead of like mediocre like they are now.
I think Derrick Rose is a top 10 point guard if he doesn't the whole time if he doesn't get injured.
Bo
That's true too.
Bo Jackson.
Yeah, that's my answer, bro. Bo Jackson. I think if Bo Jackson didn't get injured as much, he'd be considered a lot better than he is. Or you can go back to soccer, you go fat Ronaldo.
Yeah, I agree.
Welcome, Jason Dean. Welcome.
I agree
Oh,
with
he's
Fat
a G.
Ronaldo as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good question because I think there's a lot of athletes that like you could think of that
Like
didn't.
we talked about it the other night. I was like Kevin White, and they were like, "Who?" And I was like, "First round draft pick, wide receiver."
Yeah.
Like got drafted in the first round by the Bears.
Yeah.
Never even.
Oh,
played a
I know who Kevin White
snap.
is now.
Never even played a snap.
Yeah.
Basically got injured before in training camp every year, and he was like a good college talent.
Yeah.
Like he was one of those
For
things.
Chelsea, I'm gonna say Reece James and Joel.
There you go. Captain and vice captain, glass legs.
Oh, dude. All right.
Body.
Let's do a fun one. What is your favorite celebration in sports?
Why are y'all looking at me?
You're starting
You're
this off, Freddie.
answering.
Like I don't know. Growing up, I always liked when it would be like you jump up and you shoulder tap the guys on going
Okay.
at the touchdown.
I like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
Friggin', it's got to
We're
be
going
Sue.
down the line.
Oh, Sue.
It's just so like it's just so iconic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that picture of Ronaldo in the Portugal game when he's jumping up and he's pointing, and the whole crowd is yelling "See."
Sue.
Yeah, it's got to be it. But I also really like the ballas. I love that one.
That was our thing for a long
favorite.
time.
If we're talking FIFA, it's a brick fall.
Yeah. J Lings is a fun one. That's a fun one. My favorite though, it's really simple, and because I love Messi so much, it's literally just a simple kiss your finger, point to the sky. It's just really simple. It's really cool. It's my favorite.
You know what? I'm gonna say Tiger. I'm gonna say Tiger Woods.
Tiger's fist bump?
Tiger's fist bump.
Tiger fist bump.
Yeah. With the fist bump? I don't know. He just goes like that or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, like Tiger fist bump. Also, I really like LeBron's.
LeBron's.
When
The
he pumps,
silencer.
yeah.
I've said Cam Newton, Superman, and I can't read that.
Okay,
Finger flick.
yeah.
Okay.
Cam Newton Superman is also one of my favorites as well.
Good vibe. Yeah, I don't know. What's the Tomlinson finger flick?
LaDainian Thompson, like.
Oh.
Yeah. Also, just the Drogba slide.
Oh yeah.
That was my favorite.
Nah, you know what? The one we forgot about? South Africa. In the
Oh,
World Cup,
South
they all
Africa
go down the
World
line and just.
As far as iconic to me is when Drogba scored that header in the Bayern Munich game, and he ran to the freaking corner. He was just
Tyrion.
Terry, yeah, holding the
Grab the
flag.
corner flag, hold your head. Yeah. There's a lot of good
all right.
celebrations.
All right.
I like
Let's. We already hit
The
that one.
last two questions of the day.
Last two.
Terrell Owens the best though.
Terrell Owens, my favorite. When Terrell Owens.
He has good celebrations, but he was inconsistent with them.
Look, my favorite is when he scored a touchdown against the Cowboys when he was a Niners player and slammed the football in the middle of the Dallas Star in the middle of the field. So there's a great
I'll
celebration.
give the popcorn.
All right. Last two questions. Would sports be more entertaining if they allowed them to take steroids?
I think the easy answer is yes. But I think the elongated answer is, but for how long could they sustain themselves to play if they're taking steroids?
Because the trouble with steroids is that like when you're performing at that level, is that your muscles are growing, like you're enhancing your you're making your muscles go rapider, but your joints and your joints and other
it's the
things.
health
Yeah.
side effects of everything.
That's why guys who are on steroids get easy ripped chest and leg ACLs, like that sort of
Yeah.
thing, because they're trying to put on weight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Forward
the
rage.
question is entertainment though, because I know there can be you can go into the use
health,
of steroids
yeah.
on your body and stuff.
Yeah.
It would 100%
I
be
think
more entertaining.
I think the real the target of this question is baseball, where it's it was basically everybody in baseball to the home run race.
Very
all that.
much.
Yeah,
For sure, baseball.
had
Yeah.
to you had to juice if you even wanted to compete.
That's true.
And so, but it was still, it was frowned upon, especially at that time. But everybody kind of knew that you're just,
Everybody takes them now,
Yeah.
bro. They just take them in different forms that aren't necessarily directly steroids. They're just they come across cold medicine or something like that, so you don't get flagged. And
So our last question, I don't.
before we can open up the Instagram if we want to. For a couple questions.
Yeah, if you guys have questions,
Efren, I'm sure you have 1,000 questions, bro, and I would appreciate the answer your question.
you guys can put a question in the chat. But our last question is, which sport would be most entertaining if you introduced alcohol into the competition?
AJ has an easy answer, and I like AJ's answer.
I was golf. I feel regular people already paired golf with alcohol, and I feel pros would just it'd be really funny to see how good they could be while still knocking back a couple.
You know what my answer is? Baseball.
Yeah.
I think that'd be entertaining to see how many guys actually if you could walk
Get
straight
hit,
to the plate.
literally get hit every pitcher.
How many strikes could they actually throw?
I don't get this question because if you're intoxicated, you're not going to be able to hit the ball. And even if you do hit the ball,
Yeah, but
the funny part would see them.
entertainment.
I think it would be soccer though.
Think about football, bro. You hand the ball. You have the quarterback running back to your running back trying to hand him the ball, and he's running the opposite
But
direction.
think about soccer, football, any of those.
Football would
You
be
have to. You're gonna run for 2 minutes and they're gonna throw up on the sideline.
Yeah, no,
That's
but-
really what's gonna happen. So
That's true too.
Synchronized diving.
Scott Johnson. Papa.
Oh wait. Efren said UFC on alcohol.
I
Dana
would
White's
enjoy
already
that. I
Dana
would
White's
enjoy
already on
that.
cocaine every
Yeah, they're already. Everybody's on cocaine. John
Okay.
Jones definitely was on.
It says
cocaine during this.
Scott Johnson.
Most underrated Premier League signing this summer.
Oh,
Give me a second to think about this. Okay, so
I think easily for me is Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, that's a good.
All right, I think
but you're a homer.
Can
That's
you
a
pick,
homer.
Can we pick one for our team and then
Yeah.
pick a different one?
Pick one for your team.
All right, Andre Onana.
Yuri and Timber.
Okay, so the problem I have with all those is that they were all already known like class players, and
What is
and,
it?
and they were-
Most underrated? Okay, then
I also like Diaby.
I like Mason Mount.
Oh,
United.
No.
I do because he wanted to please his poppy.
underrated though.
Underrated. Well, we've only made 3 transfers, bro. You already trashed on Onana. Okay, Benjamin Pavard when it happens in a week. That'll be my underrated signing. for
If
United.
we're talking all Premier League,
Moussa Diaby. I really like Moussa Diaby to Aston Villa. It's not going to get talked about a lot because he plays for Aston Villa.
I'm gonna say Tonali. I do like Tonali to Newcastle.
That's good.
Trying to think.
I like
it's a tough
Yeah.
question.
I like Newcastle with my lifeline.
Yeah.
Who's your underrated? Any club?
I mean, I think I already said Diaby, and he already showed that he was pretty decent today.
He scored.
But I think Newcastle's Tonali is a really good move for them.
Yeah, I think
Like you
so.
said.
It's a move to basically say like, yeah, we're
Because-
good now.
Because if you look at like what City did with Silva and who was there? Was it Torre?
Torre.
Yeah.
Torre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They brought
Oh, you're talking about
They brought in
David
David Silva.
they solidified their midfield and then branched out from that. And I think Newcastle was doing something similar.
Yeah.
But also, I think a lot of Newcastle signings were kind of looked under.
Harvey Barnes.
Yeah, Harvey
Yeah.
Barnes did really well today. So I would say Newcastle's. But I just said Nicholas Jackson because, I mean, we haven't played yet, so I
See what happens.
we'll see what happens. But he was very non-expensive. He wasn't really known.
Would you pay 35 million for him? Release clause?
Something very low, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
But he looks pretty good. Looks pretty good.
He's got the pace of Drogba.
Yeah.
Him and Mudryk flying down the wing is going to be a lot of fun this season. I'm excited.
But yeah. All right. Those are our questions.
I think we killed it.
Caitlin, do you have any questions? Give us
Any
one
more
question.
questions? Any more questions here?
Josh asked the boys how they like our leftovers.
Oh yeah, I mean, AJ's
All right.
having a great time with Kai Havertz today. He performed an absolute
Who
stinker.
asked that?
Scott did.
Scott, I want you to know, Scott, that I hate Kai Havertz and that I didn't when they said we're buying him, I thought it was the stupidest thing that we spent actual money on Kai Havertz. I know he's not good, so I apologize. Yeah, I let you outright know if he scores goals for us. Congrats.
Well, Scott, AJ has this running bet with me and Josh now that if Kai Havertz scores 15 goals or assists,
Yeah.
15 goals or assists this season, he has to buy the neon green jersey
with his name.
on it. I also really like Mason Mount. We'll see what happens with him.
How do you actually feel about Mason Mount?
I really hated the signing at first because I never rated Mason Mount as a Chelsea player. But what I've learned in the last year of Manchester United fan is you have to back your manager.
Okay.
And if Eric really wants Mason Mount and really likes him, then I guess I have to like him too.
Yeah.
All right.
And I guess if Mikel likes Kai Havertz,
No, F Kai Havertz, bro. We're done with him.
Yeah.
So, greatest sport movie.
Dark, that's a great question. What's
Greatest
AJ, what's the
sport-
greatest sports movie?
Whoa.
Wait. Greatest or like our favorite?
This is
Our favorite, or
It's
yeah,
opinionated.
is it opinionated?
Go ahead.
I like
Miracle on Ice.
yeah.
Miracle.
That's good. That's good. Remember the Titans?
Okay.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Miracle is just good.
Facing the Giants.
That's a good one.
I also like I like Moneyball.
Yeah,
That's one of
Moneyball's
my
a good
favorites. Draft Day, I've seen it about 1,000 times. I love that.
When the
But
game stands tall.
what's the baseball movie?
Which one?
The
Field
Field of
of
Dreams.
Dreams. Yeah.
Field of Dreams is pretty good too.
Yeah.
I think those are some of the best.
Oh, The Sandlot as well.
Oh, Sandlot.
Yeah. I mean,
Really happy.
Happy Gilmore's also.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess sports movie can be kind of broad, but if we're
Yeah.
talking like,
The sports have to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's about like playing a sport.
yeah, for sure. What about the
Tin Cup.
LA movie?
Tin Cup.
I love that movie actually.
Did you really?
Yeah, you like that play movie? I remember watching it.
I like Beckham.
No, that movie sucks.
Yeah.
What else? Any other questions before we log off for the
Any
day?
other questions?
No,
Airbud, no.
Oh, Airbud.
What's dark?
Dark?
Everyone's not good.
Hey.
Dark has two.
Where's the CrossFit? Where's the CrossFit movie, Dark? That's what I
Dark?
wanna
Can
know.
you star in
Yeah,
a
can you
home
star?
movie about CrossFit?
Yeah.
I would love to see it.
You can be the star of your own movie.
All right. Well, if we have no other questions, I think we'll just end it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Come on, wrap it up.
Yeah.
You're in the host seat. Wrap it up.
Efren said he's got some questions.
Okay, Efren.
Efren.
Hold on. It's okay. Let's wrap up the pod.
Yeah.
We'll stay on Instagram Live. Wrap up the pod.
Thank you for watching on YouTube. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Well,
Drop a like, subscribe.
We'll be back with regular Sunday. We'll record, but it drops on
Wednesdays.
Yeah, because now
It'll drop regularly on Wednesday.
the Prem is back and football's around the corner.
We're excited. Thank you again for watching. We love you all. Peace.